Hi everybody. I was going to film this last segment in a quiet garden somewhere, but really one of the more quiet places of my trip has been here in the room that is my bedroom for my stay here at my friend Rio's house. And I wrote this down and I thought I'd read it to you as kind of the ending to the trip. So my friends, my trip to Japan is winding down and I'll soon be home in Texas. I thought a few final thoughts would be appropriate, so I wrote them down so I wouldn't ramble and squander the moment. This may be my last trip anywhere. As you age, you feel the moment you're in at your time, and the youth of this world own the moment, as I did in my time. Now is a time for me to reflect and to pass on the wisdom of my experiences, such as they are, to the young. And with luck and the timing of this moment, perhaps through our Eco Ranch, Debbie and I can do this. You know, we Americans have a reputation for barging into a situation full steam ahead. It's both admired and hated by the rest of the world. Hated because of Americans like the ones I saw at the Edo Tokyo Museum, who roared in typical American style when they saw a map with an information icon on it. Well, at least these sons of bitches have an information booth. And that was to the disgust of those around them. But this was admired inside the museum when a small crowd had gathered around the night soil harness display, where visitors are invited to try to pick up the night soil display. Several 20-somethings all wanted to try it, but they were frightened to be the first one. So I barged right up, big grin on my face. I asked one to snap my photo as I picked it up, and as I was walking away after that, they all lined up for their turn. Grateful that I didn't care what anyone thought. I wanted to experience the moment so that they could too. We have the unique ability to be the only American face that's remembered by visitors to our country, or as visitors to someone else's country. We can make that face ugly or kind at no cost to ourselves, but at great profit or loss to those who remember it. I got lost leaving the museum, and I boarded the train headed in the wrong direction. That's typical of me. 8 stops later I realized and reboarded in the correct direction, so no harm done. But when my train change came up, I was trying to be careful not to do it again and studying my notes and looking at the train board, and a young salaryman from somewhere around Greece by his accent, not a Japanese, he walked up to me and he asked me if he could help. He looked at my information and he assured me, oh yes, you're waiting for the right train. Now that was kind, but he didn't stop there. His stop was the stop before mine. He exited his car, entered the car I was on, saw me on board, and said, your stop is the next one. Enjoy your vacation. He barely got out of the car as the doors closed. Now his face I remember fondly. I was tempted to write, try to find somebody in New York who would do that. But instead I thought, why not be someone in New York who would do that? Or LA, Atlanta, America. Random acts of kindness is far more than a 30-year-old catchphrase. It should be, and it can be, a way of life. I've tried to do this in my life, mostly succeeding. We all can. The cost is nothing, and the profit is great for both parties. You know, I believe, as Stephen Hawking does, that we have no actual God or next life. And that distresses neither Hawking or myself, but it does reinforce the precious nature of the time we do have, and the fact that we should make the most of it. This world is vast. your country, my country, is as exciting and wondrous to a visitor as every country I've ever visited has been to me. Every country has been filled with memories of kind faces and their random acts of kindness to me. Every country that was foreign to me created apprehension and that meekness that we all have about entering a restaurant or a store where we don't speak the language and nothing's familiar, but go ahead, barge right in politely. The moment is precious and there is no proof you're going to get a second chance. Be the face that brightens up somebody's day or life. Make a difference, however small, in our world. One act of kindness or hate times 7 billion can move a mountain or it can destroy a planet. Let me leave you and end my trip with these very wise words from Mark Twain. Work like you don't need money. Love like you've never been hurt. And dance like no one's watching. The choice has always been ours. Choose wisely and correctly. Arigatou gozaimasu and sayonara.